Look, you're not stuck because you have no options. You're stuck because you're telling yourself a story, and that story just isn't true. I'm guessing that story sounds a little something like this. The alarm goes off, you hit snooze, the thought of walking into that office, stepping onto that assembly line, or even sitting in that cubicle again makes your stomach clench. You go through the motions, trading your precious time for a paycheck that feels less like a reward and more like a life sentence. You spend your day watching the clock, just counting down the minutes until you can finally escape and get back to your life. The real life, the one that feels like it only exists between Friday evening and Sunday night. If that hits a little too close to home, you're not having a bad week. You're stuck in a loop that's draining your energy, crushing your spirit, and leading to a dead end. This is a very common problem with midlife women. It isn't just about a job you don't like. It's about watching your potential get wasted with every minute that ticks by after this very flourishing long career. But what if I told you that this happens to be a trap? It's holding you for ransom. It's a signal, a wake-up call, and today we're going to answer. Let's be real for a second. The problem isn't just the bad boss, the boring task, or even being appreciated. Those are just symptoms. The real problem is the story you've started to believe, that this is as good as it gets, that the safety of this predictable paycheck is worth letting your ambition slowly fade away. This is the gravitational pull of the status quo. It's that quiet, sneaky force that keeps you stuck right where you are, even when every fiber of your being wants to make a change. You tell yourself things like, I'll start looking for a new job next month, or I just have to keep through this busy season, or the classic, it's just not that bad. But next month never seems to arrive, the busy season never seems to end, and it's just one long exhausting year. And the cost of staying put is so much higher than a few more miserable Mondays. When your work feels meaningless, that feeling bleeds into every other part of your life. It messes with your health, your relationships, and the fundamental sense of who you are. You stop being the main character in your own story and start feeling like a background extra. You see other people making bold moves, starting businesses, finding work they're passionate about, and that little voice in your head whispers, that could never be me. That voice is the single most dangerous thing to your career. It's the sound of your potential being squandered. The real cost of doing nothing is just being unhappy. It's living a life that's a fraction of what it could be. And you are worth so much more than that. Believe me, I've been there. This is probably the single most important perspective shift you need to make right now. Your job is not the same thing as your career. A job is what a company gives you. It's a list of tasks, a title on an org chart. It's defined by someone else, and frankly, they can change it or take it away at any time. When you're in a job, you're essentially getting paid to help build someone else's dream. A career, though, a career is all yours. It's the total sum of your skills, your experiences, your network, and the reputation that you have built over a lifetime. It is that professional story that you get to write, and it goes with you no matter who signs your paycheck. Your career is the one asset you truly own and control. The second you get this, everything changes. Feeling stuck in a job is a temporary problem, but feeling stuck in a career feels permanent and hopeless. Here's the good news. You're not stuck in a career. You're just stuck in a job. You are the CEO of your own career. Your boss might control your day-to-day to-do list, but you and only you control your long-term direction. That is what shifts from being a passive victim of your circumstances to the active driver of your own life. You stop waiting for a company to hand you an opportunity and you start building one for yourself. If you're really feeling a spark from what I'm saying, please do me a favor and hit subscribe. Let YouTube know that you want to see more of this content of midlife, reinvention, transformation. All right, you're ready to take back control, but where the heck do you even start? It's true that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step, but it really helps to have a roadmap. So if you are a midlifer and you're not ready to retire, but you still want to get energized by your career, here is your 3-phase roadmap to build a career that actually gets you excited to wake up in the morning again. Phase 1 is the diagnosis. Figure out what's really wrong. Before you can build something better, you have to get painfully honest about what's broken. It's time for a self-assessment to find your North Star. I'm not talking about a vague daydream. I mean a deep, honest look in the mirror. Grab a notebook and don't just think about these questions, actually write down your answers. What specific things at my work completely drain my energy? And be super specific. Is it the back-to-back meetings? The mind-numbing data entry? Dealing with that one difficult client? And have I felt the most alive and engaged at work, even if it was just for a minute? What was I doing? What are my non-negotiable values? Things like creativity, stability, helping people, or having autonomy. Does my current job honor these, or does it violate them every day? And this is my favorite. If money were completely off the table, what problem would I want to spend my time solving? This diagnosis isn't supposed to be depressing. Think of it as collecting data. You're a detective on a case, searching for clues about what makes you tick. The goal here is clarity. You have to know what you're running towards, not just what you're running from. Phase 2, the blueprint, research and connect. Now that you have your data, you can go from thinking to doing. It's time to be an architect of your own future. This is where you turn your what I want into a how do I get it. First, just start exploring. Use your answers from phase 1 to research roles, industries, and even company cultures that seem to align with your values. Look at the job descriptions, not at things you have to apply for, but as a menu of possibilities. What skills people are asking for? What do people in these jobs actually do all day? Next, start connecting with people. And I don't mean that cringy, awkward schmoozing at corporate events. I mean having real conversations. Find people on LinkedIn who have the jobs that look interesting to you. Send them a simple, honest message, something like, "Hey Joe, I'm exploring a career change and your work in this field looks fascinating. Would you be open to a 15-minute chat so I can learn from your experience?" You'll be shocked by how many people are willing to say, "Sure," and help you out. Try to have 2 or 3 of these conversations a week. Finally, figure out your skills gap. Based on research of these chats, what skills do you need to learn to make this pivot? Maybe it's a project management certification, an online course in digital marketing, or a public speaking workshop. It has never been easier to learn new skills with platforms like Coursera and LinkedIn Learning. This is you building the bridge from where you are right now to where you want to be. By the way, if this roadmap is making sense to you and you're feeling ready to stop being a bystander in your own career, do me a quick favor and hit the like button. It's a small click for you, but it tells YouTube that this is helpful and gets the video out to more people who are feeling just like you and as stuck. Phase 3 is momentum. Engine starts moving and you keep moving. This is the most important phase, and honestly, it's where most people give up. They get stuck in this analysis paralysis, waiting for the perfect plan or the perfect time to show up. But here's the secret. Action creates clarity. Clarity doesn't create action. You have to get moving to figure things out. You learn by it. Start small. Seriously, you do not have to quit your job tomorrow. The goal is to take small, consistent actions every single day that move you forward. Just 30 minutes a day focused on your goal can lead to massive changes over time. Did you find a skill gap? Great. Enroll in that online course and do one lesson a day. Do you want to move into a new industry? Start a tiny side hustle project or find a small freelance gig to get some real experience. These are small wins that are going to build your confidence and create a feedback loop of motivation that keeps you going. And if you're in midlife, let me say this clearly. Reinvention isn't just possible, it is essential. Because let's be honest, this isn't just about changing your career. It's about rewriting the rules for the second half of your life. You've spent decades proving yourself, pouring into everyone else, checking all those boxes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped asking, what do I want to do now? This next chapter, it's not about climbing someone else's ladder, it's about building your own mountain. You have wisdom now, perspective, and believe it or not, power, the kind of quiet, grounded power that only comes from experience. You're not starting over, you're starting from strength. Midlife reinvention isn't a crisis. It's a creative opportunity. It's a bold decision to trade burnout for purpose, to swap shoulds for soul, and to finally say, this gets to be about me now. You're not too old, and it's never too late. The best stories don't happen in chapter 1. They happen when the main character decides to change the ending. So yeah, start that new course. Reach out to that person, pitch that crazy wild idea, because the clock isn't ticking down, it's ticking forward. Feeling stuck is an awful feeling, but it is not your destiny. It is a simple sign that you have outgrown your current situation. It's a signal from that part of you that wants to grow, to be challenged, and to find meaning in your work. It's demanding to be heard. Today, we laid out the map. It starts with that crucial mindset shift. You are the CEO of your career, not an employee in a job. From there, you follow the 3 phases. Diagnose what's really wrong and what you truly want. Blueprint your path by researching and connecting with people who are already there. And finally, build that momentum with small, consistent, and brave actions. You have the power to stop being the person who just watches the clock. You have everything you need to build a professional life that energizes you instead of drains you. The road won't be easy, but it will be yours. The only thing holding you back at this point is that old, tired story you've been telling yourself. It's time to write a new one. The future doesn't start next month or next year. It's starting right now. So what is that one small actionable step you will take in the next 24 hours to start this journey? Drop it in the comments below. Let's keep each other accountable. And if you're ready to keep building your midlife reinvention and a life you actually love, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, go take that first step.